Welcome to the Know Before You Go Travel Show, where we share all the latest travel tips, tricks, and insights to make your next vacation the best one yet. So sit back, relax, grab a cocktail, and enjoy the show with Penyak Travel's George Penyak and our senior travel consultant, Janet Penyak.
What is up, everybody?
Hey, everyone.
Welcome back to another edition of the Know Before You Go Travel Show, and we've got a show for you today while we sip on our glasses of red wine in the studio on a Monday.
Yeah, you probably should have brought a little more.
Yeah, we went through the first batch there kind of quick, but it's a Monday.
It's been a Monday.
It's been a busy Monday, but it's good. We have a lot of people reaching out to us, and by the way, daylight savings time is over.
Yes.
The sunlight is back in the afternoon, the evenings, and I love it.
Yes, I could not be more thrilled too. I mean, I'll take the darkness and the extended darkness in the morning so I can get it in the evenings for sure.
And I may have said that wrong. Maybe daylight savings time is here, or I don't understand. No, it's over, right?
No, I think it's over.
It's ended.
We might want to double check.
I'm definitely not a meteorologist. Is that a meteorologist
that's okay.
this? I don't know. Farmers, it's something to do with that.
Yeah.
But anyways, we are travel experts, and we're just happy that it's daylight out when the day's over.
Yes, I agree.
Because it feels like you have a whole new day on the back end. It's like a whole new day. When it gets dark at 5 o'clock, it is awful.
Yes, I agree.
It is awful. And you might have a small percentage of the population that actually likes that, but you and I,
no, I can't stand it.
I like my sunlight.
Because then I feel like, okay, 5:30, it's dark. I got to go in, put my pajama pants on. It's time to lay on the couch and then get ready for bed.
Cut on some murder, because you love watching some murder before you go to bed.
Yes, I do.
Well, your murder TV
terrible.
shows. That sounds terrible. You know what I mean? Like the
Investigation Discovery and all the Snapped on Oxygen. Yes, I watch all of that constantly.
So, guys, if I ever go missing, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I read something recently, and it said that, like way more women watch those shows and like listen to crime podcasts and everything than men. So
I can see that because I can't get into those shows like you can.
It's so fascinating.
And you think women would be more empathetic, but you guys are. But what I'm saying is, like, I just can't watch. It brings me down. I'm like, this is such a terrible, tragic story.
But it is. But then when you hear about them catching the person and
I like vengeance. You got to get those people need to be. If you did a crime like that,
I don't know why. I just find it very interesting. So I've always watched it.
Yeah,
Georgia always had a saying in our house that it wasn't dinner time in the Penyaks if murder wasn't on the TV. So yeah, there's that. It sounds terrible. Yeah, I think it's time to move on. You just like watching them.
Yeah. I can't watch it. But anyways, I hope everyone's having a great week. It's Monday for us. Busy Monday for you. You've been super busy.
Yeah, we've seen a huge surge in booking and quote requests, which is great. It's a great sign. Travel's back, but it's like, whoa, I haven't seen this kind of level of interest since January of last year. And
we had been saying it for like the last couple months. If you're a loyal listener, we've been saying like the prices have stayed pretty low. I think they're starting to swing up a little bit. I think
they are starting to as well, because I saw some tickets to Antigua were like $750.
Yeah, so prices are starting to trickle back up, because I think it's going to follow demand, and but that's a good thing. Like if demand's back, that's good for everybody. But I think the rates will eventually start catching up, and it won't take long. But anyways, we've got a great show. Before we do, we got to get to our shout-outs. So by the way, if you're loving the content, we really appreciate it. If you would mash the subscribe button, we're trying to get our subscribers up, trying to get the subs up, and we really, really appreciate all the love we've gotten. And speaking of subscribers, we got a new podcast review.
Yes, and I was going to say, if you love what you hear, please leave us a 5-star review, or a review.
A review.
5 stars preferred.
Preferably, yeah.
But we would appreciate it so much.
Yeah, we got a new one from Trey Marquise. He said, best travel podcast. Found this podcast recently, and I have been binge listening ever since. Very knowledgeable about all-inclusive resorts, a great guide for navigating travel during the pandemic, and travel news. They will help you fine-tune what you want out of your next vacation. I have already been in contact to get a quote for my next vacation, and their services are free. Keep up the great work. P.S. I love question of the day from George, and I actually like your longer podcast. It's like getting a free upgrade on an already great vacation. Awesome. Trey, thank you so much for the positive review.
Yes, thank you. And thanks for boosting his confidence about question of the day.
Well, I used to think I would have to get like a tune for that.
Did you look up, by the way, speaking of question of the day, I think you might have forgotten to look up yours for today.
I don't need to.
Oh, you already have it?
Yeah, it's all stored up here.
Oh no, somebody sent one in. Never mind, I forgot.
Yeah, I don't need to look up question of the day.
Yes.
We had a.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, you have had a long day. You got to wake up. I need to get some caffeine. Anyways, shout out to real quick before we get to the podcast. We got to get some Instagram shout outs. So had a bunch of people slide into our DMs. Thank you, Rachel Crickenbink. She reached out to us slid into our DMs there on Instagram. Thank you so much. I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but I think it's Jessica. Jessica slid into our DMs. Tyler Dunn also sliding in. Thank you so much. John Saturn submitted the question of the day in our Instagram, LinkedIn. What am I doing? Our LinkedIn page is active. It's not the wine, I promise. Slid into our Instagram DMs. And J.R. Anderson, our travel buddy out of Atlanta who travels a lot, he's got a great little travel page going on Instagram. I love seeing his updates. They travel a lot, which is great.
Yes.
So he's got a good thing going there on Instagram. Thank you, J.R. Really appreciate the love. And we have more shout-outs.
Oh, yes, and we have more. So, Lana from Nashville
Wake up.
looking to go to Belize. Thank you so much for reaching out. Lindsay from Nashville looking at booking LeBlanc. Amanda from D.C. looking for a honeymoon. Tiki from Charlotte, we gave her a shout-out a few weeks ago, and then she did just end up booking Sandals Montego Bay last week for her honeymoon next February. And then Amanda from Minneapolis looking for a honeymoon. Cindy from Philadelphia looking at LeBlanc in Cancun. And last but not least, Kristen from Charlotte looking for a honeymoon.
Charlottetown coming in. Thank you guys so much. And again, it's the best way to support the show. If you're looking for a trip or a free service, we'd love to hear from you guys. So thank you so much to those that are planning a trip and reach out to us. We love you guys. It means the world to us. It's one of the biggest reasons we do the podcast, but mainly to get the best information out there, because in the time of a lot of travel news and everything, there's a lot of misinformation out there. And we see it. We don't call them out by name, but we've seen YouTubers, we've seen a lot of different people out there, and we hear things, we're like, oh, raise our eyebrow. It's like, we've been there, and I don't know if that's necessarily true, but we try to bring our most genuine and honest, candid feedback on everything here on the show.
Yeah, so I think it's time to get into it.
Let's get into it.
So we are talking about the top and most booked family all-inclusive resorts in the Caribbean and Mexico.
Yeah, and again, the reason we're focusing, we've had a hyper focus on all-inclusive resorts lately. Again, mainly because cruising is way down, travel to Europe is way down with the influx and lockdowns there. I think it's starting to open back up, and so right now, the Caribbean, Mexico, and domestic travel is very, very popular. And so we're just trying to follow what the current travel trend is.
Yes.
Now, obviously, when cruising comes back, I think it's going to level out a little bit, because I think there is a lot of pent-up demand for cruising. But again, you just can't do it right now like you used to be able to.
Yeah,
so,
and I wouldn't plan one for not for like the next 6 months.
Yeah. There might not be many options in the next 6 months. So I think all-inclusive resorts are going to be it. But you know what, honestly, we were talking about it the other day, like how we went back to our very first episode. It was all-inclusive versus a cruise. What would you do? And that is one we have to bring back, because there's a real debate there. And obviously, when COVID's gone, cruising's going to be a little different here for the next year. But when cruising comes back, it's a real debate. I think it's one we can talk about.
Yes. So to jump right in to some of our top family all-inclusive resorts. So starting out with the Hyatt Ziva in Cancun. So this resort is right in the hotel zone of Cancun. Very, very nice property. Only 25 minutes from the airport, and it's definitely great, for multi-generational families as well. And one of the cool things I really like about this resort that I think is really great for kids is they have a dolphin experience. So they have dolphins right there at the resort, and you can swim and interact with them. There's a little bit of an upcharge for that, but obviously dolphins excite especially kids, but anyone really. So, then of course they have all the great kids clubs, water park and game room for kids ages 4 to 11. So definitely a great option right in the hotel zone of Cancun. Yeah.
One thing I like about this resort too is they have a microbrewery.
Oh, very nice.
Love that. That's for the adults, obviously, not for the kids. But I think it's cool. I think, we haven't done many family episodes, and we do get requests for family episodes because, Mom and Dad likes to leave the country, but you want to bring the kids too.
Sometimes they want to bring the kids.
Sometimes you want to bring the kids. Sometimes you want to go on your own.
Yes.
When we have kids, I wonder how we'll feel when we have kids.
We're
going to bring them?
I don't know.
Bring the Rugrats?
That's still a big if, so.
Haul them down to Mexico?
We'll see. So next up on the list, so the Hyatt Ziva in Capcana. I really like this resort as well because it sits right next door to the Hyatt Zilara, and the Hyatt Zilara is for adults only. So this is great if you're traveling with, grandparents or, other members of your family that, maybe don't have kids, then they could stay on the adult side and have access to all of those amenities. And then same thing, they have a great water park with a big lazy river that has water cannons, 5 slides. They have the kids club and teen lounge with awesome activities for younger guests as well. And I forgot to mention what the pricing was.
Oh, yeah, get the pricing
So
out.
for the Hyatt Ziva in Cancun, we just priced it out for 5 nights. So this is all-inclusive stay only, no airfare or anything. And this is 2 adults, 2 kids, ages 8 and 10. It's $2,860 for July of this year. And then the Hyatt Ziva Capcana was starting at $3,102 for this year. And Capcana is a really great area because I get asked a lot of, is Cancun safe and is, Punta Cana safe? Well, one of the things I really love about Capcana, which if you've heard our episodes previously regarding Secrets Capcana, then you've heard this, but I really like that area because it's a completely gated community. So you can only get in and out of there if you are staying at one of those resorts in there or playing golf or staying in one of the multi-million-dollar homes there. So it's a very, very safe area.
Yeah, and even when we were outside of that area when we visited there, I never felt unsafe. But again, if you want that extra layer there, you're going to have that, which is really good. Especially if you're bringing the kids, your chances are you're going to stay on property a little more often than maybe you otherwise would if you didn't have kids with you.
Yes.
So, it's good to have that. And a lot of these resorts that we've had tons of clients to and we've seen, you don't really need to leave. There's a lot to do.
No, there's
there.
a lot to do, right on resort. Of course, there's activities off resort for everyone of all ages, but yeah, everything that you need is pretty much right there. And that's one of the things that you want to make sure when traveling with small kids, because I could think of several options in, say, Cancun or in Turks and Caicos that you can take kids there, but then there's not much for them to do except just play at the pool and, play on the beach or whatever. Other than that, There's not much for them to do. So you want to make sure that they have activities and things to do so you can also enjoy your vacation.
Absolutely. And having the kids entertain the whole time, it kind of gives the parents time to kind of decompress because they're not having to entertain the kids so often.
Right.
And I think nowadays where you have a lot of kids learning from home right now, parents could use a few minutes to themselves while the kids are being entertained at the water park or at the music studio or at all these things that a lot of these properties have that these kids can go to and entertain themselves. Parents can get a few seconds to take a breather.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And the kids clubs at all of these are really great. The majority of the ones that we're talking about today, your kid has to be at least 4 years old to put them in to the kids club, and that's where they have certain activities planned for them every day, and you just drop them off and then pick them up later in the day. But if they're 4 and up, it's definitely a great option.
Yeah, and shout outs to all the mom and dads out there. I mean, it's been a long year. You got your full-time job, I'm sure. Then you also, if you do have, obviously mom and dads have kids, but it's like you have the kids at home too. You're almost playing 2 roles, like a hybrid teacher in your job. And I think everyone needs a sandy beach with some vitamin D coming down on them.
Vitamin C.
A vitamin C. No, vitamin D from the sun.
Well, yeah, and then vitamin C.
In your drink.
SEA.
No,
C.
Vitamin C. I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
It's so cheesy. Yeah.
Didn't.
Yeah. Anyways, but no, everybody does that. That's for sure. So now moving back over to Mexico. There's a really awesome all-inclusive resort. If you are an adventure-seeking family, then this is definitely the spot for you. So Hotel Xcaret is a great option just south of the Cancun airport, and they have 9 adventure parks included with your stay. So not all of them are open quite yet, but you still have a lot to choose from. But, adventure parks, and you can do anything like float down the river, go snorkeling. They have zip lines. Drive an amphibious vehicle. tons of water slide options. I mean, it's just literally anything adventurous that you could want to do, you can do it. And if you stay at the hotel on property, then it's included with your stay. Otherwise, then you have to pay for the tickets in order to enter the parks.
Okay, that is awesome. That's a really good perk. And again, we're talking about kids being entertained. Physical activity wears them out, knocks them out at night. And that is, I mean, heck, I would do that as an adult.
Oh, yeah.
I would do, and we've seen some of these parks. It's like, I would do that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to get on any of the, they don't have any rides. We've already had this conversation about rides. I can't get on a ride. It makes my stomach hurt. But the ropes course and things like that, I am all for.
Yeah, and then so the Zensus Park, like there's 14 attractions at that park, and then it puts you in 50 different scenarios that will put your senses to the test, from flying like a bird to a journey through different ecosystems in total darkness.
Really?
Yeah, so it's really cool. It's, I think it would probably be suited a little bit better for a little bit older kids, maybe 10 and up, but that's awesome. You can have a really good, entertaining vacation, especially if you are an adventure-seeking family. That is a great option.
Absolutely, 100%.
And at the parks, so if you're like floating down one of the rivers, all your drinks and everything's included while you do that too.
See, that's what I would be. If I was a dad, I would wear a sun shirt, because the sun, as much as I love the sun doesn't like me. I burn. I would have a sun shirt on, and it would say Super Dad. And I would have some huge sunglasses on and a straw hat and the biggest mojito in my hands, just cruising down the lazy river.
Mojito or margarita?
Either or.
I was going to say,
if
Mexico.
It's in Mexico, they have the best margaritas,
yes,
obviously.
I was going to say, I would have the margarita. Yeah, and they also have a kids club there, too. So let's just say if you have, older kids that, are the more adventure-seeking type, you could take them to the parks, and then you could drop your younger kid off at the kids club, too. That's an option.
That's very cool.
And the kids club's 4 and up. So rates for July of 2022 is $44.87 for 5 nights. That's total for a family of 4, 2 adults and 2 kids.
A little bit more than what we're.
But you're getting a lot more, because you're basically getting all of your excursions and activities already included with your stay.
It's like that is probably like the truest version of an all-inclusive right there.
Yes.
If you can go off property and your resort and your stuff's paid for.
Well, all of the parks are right there.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. There's the majority.
Off a little bit.
Yeah, the majority of them are right there.
Yeah.
So
that's still awesome.
Yes. Now, keeping in Mexico, and I'm not trying to make it a theme, but Mexico does have a lot of really good family all-inclusives. It's a great option.
And the rates are super good.
I was going to say, and it tends to be a lot more affordable, because obviously the more people that you take, the more expensive your trip's going to be. So,
yep. And by the way, any price we're giving out, it's for pretty much July 2021 for 2 adults and 2
July
kids, right?
2022.
2022, 2 adults and 2 kids.
Yes. So the Grand Velas Riviera Maya. So this is a very, very upscale, all-inclusive resort for families. So you kind of need to think like this is the Ritz-Carlton of 5-star resorts. So, they have a great kids club starting at age 4. They have a baby concierge. So you can go to the baby concierge, and it's an extra charge for babysitting, but they will have everything for you, from like baby rattles to bottles, anything that you might need.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. When we have a kid, we're going there. We can just give our baby to someone else to babysit?
Yes.
Like,
I mean, you have to pay for it. It's not included there. Yeah. And another thing that I really like about this resort is they have a lot of suites, which is really nice for families, because not everyone wants to, especially if you're traveling with older kids, squeeze into one small room with 2 double beds. So they have a lot of suite options there, which is really nice. Yeah,
and I think the suites too, it changes your experience, because to your point, it's way different when you have 2 beds, a few feet from each other versus actually separate bedrooms.
Yes.
It gives everyone a little privacy. And
they have a lot of 2-bedroom suite options there, so enough room for everyone to spread out. That's
the way to go.
Yes. So, keeping in Mexico, I absolutely love this resort for families, and it has been very popular the last few months for the clients that I have been or families that I've been booking. So the Hard Rock in Cabo. So that one just opened recently in the last few years. So it's a very new resort, and everything's modern, up to date, and it caters so nicely to families, especially with families with teenagers. So they have a great water park there, lots of shows and activities, and then one of the coolest things that I really like is the music lab.
That is awesome, the music lab. So if your kid is into writing music, DJing music, anything to do with music, they can actually go there, record music in like a professional format and studio, and take it back with them. Yes.
So there's a small upcharge for it. So there's a couple of different options that they have. So basically, it is the ultimate way to channel your inner guitar hero. Does everybody remember that video game?
Oh my gosh, I was so
we
good
played
at that.
in college.
I was so good at it in college.
Yeah. So you have to be 12 and older to play. And there's a couple different experiences. So you can have the jam band. So if you've ever wanted to know what it's like to play in a rock and roll band, the jam band package gives you the opportunity to be a rock star for the day, regardless of your skill level. And you can choose one of 4 different instruments, or you can be the lead singer in the rock band of up to 7 people.
Well, that's pretty sweet.
Yes. So,
adults can do this too,
yes,
right? It's not just for kids.
Yeah, you can. And then if you want to learn how to become a DJ, so they have a kind of like a DJ experience there as well that kids can do, and you learn how to spin, all the tricks of whatever it is to become a DJ. So.
And I want to verify adults can do this.
Yes,
too.
adults can do this.
So I can walk in there.
You just have to be 12 and up.
4 margaritas deep.
Well, I don't know about that. They would be like, sir.
Spin them up, boys.
Yeah.
I'll put the headset on. I'll make the worst music ever.
Yeah, you would be quite the embarrassment. So another option that they have with the Music Lab is the Rock Tube. So you can become the star of your very own music video. You just select a song, and then you and up to 4 people can create your own music video.
Okay, that's the one I really want to do. After 4.5 margaritas with my 5th in hand.
Yeah, they do a full edit on the video and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
That
now
is
these
so
are
cool.
not fully included. There is an upcharge for these activities.
Yeah, but if you want, I feel like if you want your teenager or your kid to have a very memorable experience, that's something for kids that they'll remember. I know, when we were younger, your parents take you to these historical monuments and historical areas, and you don't quite remember it. But I'll tell you, if I was a kid and I have a video of myself in my own little music video.
Yeah.
That I would never forget.
Super
that.
cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool.
That would be awesome today. I want to do that today.
There's a VHS from of me in the 90s.
Oh, this is going on Instagram and YouTube.
I think my
Facebook.
parents still have it, but it was when I did a field trip to the CNN place in Atlanta, and then we got to all pretend and record to be news anchors.
No.
With the CNN backdrop. There's
Wait.
a VHS of that somewhere.
That exists.
Yeah.
We have to film the podcast and then do a comparison.
Oh, gosh, no. I think I was
fast forward 25 years.
I think I was probably 10 years old when
roughly.
I did that. Yeah. So, very cool.
That is awesome. Man, my schools never took me on cool I almost said vacations, cool field trips like
It's a
that.
field trip, yeah.
We did cool ones, I just can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, well, your memory's terrible. So.
What?
Yeah.
What did you just say?
So other things that Hard Rock Cabo, another great option with families to do is who doesn't love to go bowling? So they have a cool bowling alley there that does come at a little bit of an extra charge at $12.50 per person.
Yeah, but it's discounted. That's fun too.
Yes.
And again, when we were at the all-inclusive in
Punta Cana.
Yeah, they had a bowling alley. And
At now Miramar, yes.
Yeah, and it used to be the Secrets Royal Beach.
No. That's
no,
incorrect.
you had access to it. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's why you're the expert.
Now it is Secrets Royal Beach. They moved.
That's what I'm saying.
They moved them.
They flipped them, right?
Yes, they have flipped them.
So I was kind of right. I remember that.
Okay.
I see my memory's not that bad.
So,
and if I remember correctly, I won in bowling.
Yeah, you probably did.
Oh, yeah. I show no mercy.
So another great option for activities off resort in Cabo. And this is another reason why I really like this destination, because there's so much to do, especially for families. So my most recent family that they went and took surfing lessons. They did horseback riding and ATV riding, and they went deep sea fishing. So
holy smokes, that's cool.
Yeah. So there's so much to do, and it's such a great destination. Just keep in mind with Cabo, the beaches really are not swimmable there. So
yeah, it's not much of a beach destination. If you're a longtime listener, we always talk about that. And there are beaches. Whenever we say it's not that there's no beaches. There are just very few swimmable beaches.
Right.
It's the exact opposite of Cancun, where you can go pretty much in the water of Cancun and almost float, and you're just going to stay near the beach.
Yeah.
Not the case out there. It's tip of a peninsula, and again, it's super hot.
Yes, it is. It is super hot. In like July, August, September, those are really the hottest months. So
it's getting hot.
So pricing for Hard Rock Cabo, I actually pulled 2021 and 2022 just because I was curious. So for 5 nights in July, so just keep in mind it's going to be really hot. So family of 4 for this year, this is a crazy good deal. $21.23 for a family of 4 for 5 nights all-inclusive stay. We triple checked that because I couldn't believe how low that price was. And then for 2022, it's $27.65.
Yeah, you literally cannot beat that. When I pulled that 2100 rate, I just could not believe how low that was for families. For a family of 4.
Yeah, for 5 nights, all-inclusive. So that's all your meals, all your drinks, absolutely everything. So just not included would be your airfare and airport transportation, which the airport transportation is minimal.
Absolutely. All right, what do you got next for us?
And last but not least, beaches.
Let me guess. I knew it was going to be beaches.
Yes, I was going to say beaches. Now, there's one beaches that is not my favorite, but the other 2 I really, really love. And I mean, they're all different, but there's 3 beaches resorts, so they're a part of Sandals. So there's beaches Turks and Caicos, and then beaches Negril and beaches Ocho Rios. And that is how I like them in that order. So beaches Turks is number 1, beaches Negril is number 2, and then beaches Ocho Rios is number 3. So I was going to say, you have stayed at the beaches Turks and Caicos with me.
Yeah, we don't have kids, and we stayed there, and we had an absolute blast. And I will say this, the amount of characters that walk around, you'll see Big Bird. I mean, just like you see these random things that the resort does kind of just throughout your trip, that if I was a kid, just like you're eating lunch and here comes the Cookie Monster.
Yes.
Here comes Big. You just see these characters, and it's like, oh my God, it's almost like a mini Disney World almost without the rides.
Yeah, I agree. And part of the reason why I really love these resorts so much, and I would recommend them first, is especially with a family with kids, is because of their kids club. And if you have kids that are younger than 4, they will take them, and it's no extra charge. They are all of their I guess you could call them nannies in the kids clubs. They're all certified nannies. They're all certified in CPR and everything. And you can drop your, 1-year-old off there, and they're in great hands, and you can go and relax for the day.
Yeah, and I think that is a huge differentiator for the brand beaches versus some of these other resorts. Some of these resorts will have aspects of that, but I think they just nail it, and I think that is so important.
Well, they don't have where it's complimentary that you can drop your young child off. So
exactly, I mean, there's a cost, right? And there's certain aspects that they have, but beaches doesn't have that. It's included in the rate.
Right? Yes, that's correct.
It's a true all-inclusive rate with childcare, which is incredible.
Yes, and then for the kids, there's a huge water park there, which we thoroughly enjoyed.
I had a blast.
Yes.
I mean, adults were there too. It was awesome. And then they have a swim-up bar.
And it's a kids-only swim-up bar.
And it has soda drinks.
Yeah.
They have like fountain drinks. They mix them up, and they make these fancy drinks for them. And it's like a swim-up bar for kids. I'm like, oh my God, if I was a kid... Because I like the adult version, but gosh, if I was a kid, I'd be doing that.
Yeah, you'd think it's the coolest thing ever.
Oh, man, I would think I would so cool if I was like 12 years old, sitting at the swim-up bar, drinking me Pepsi. It'd be so good.
Yeah. And then they also have an Xbox lounge at all 3 of the resorts, which is really cool. A lot of kids, especially teens, you'll find love that. And they have a worker in there that will actually play with the kids, too.
Yeah, I want that job, too.
Yeah, that's
really
a pretty cool job.
Yeah, that's
and a lot of
job.
times, they have the test games in those Xbox lounges, which a lot of people don't realize. So,
games
that have not been fully released. they're like testing them, they'll be in those.
Pretty cool.
In the Xbox Lounge at beaches.
You know, when we stayed there, I was really impressed with. I mean, they do have a couple areas that are adults only, but the vast majority of the resort is kid friendly, and that's what it's for. And the restaurants were incredible. I remember, and the service was incredible. And one thing about Turks and Caicos that's unforgettable is the water on the beach.
Oh yeah, the beach and the water there is absolutely amazing. There's lots of pools. I mean, it's a huge resort. So if you are looking at, say, that one and Beaches Negril, there is a massive difference in them. I mean, both sit on beautiful beaches, but the Beaches Turks and Caicos is much larger, whereas Beaches Negril is a lot smaller. So it's like 700 rooms compared to like 270, I believe.
Yeah,
so.
A lot less activities for overall in general, just because there's fewer things going on.
What, at Negril?
Yeah.
No, I mean, they still have the water park and the Xbox Lounge and all that. It's just a smaller resort.
Yeah,
but in less restaurants,
Maybe it felt that way when we were there.
Yeah.
In Negril. It just felt that way. But Beaches Turks just felt so open. It felt like such an open resort. Like it's not hard to navigate.
Well, it's very spread out, and that's one of the things I didn't particularly like about Beaches Ocho Rios. And the last time I was there, I thought that it needed to be renovated, but I also just didn't really care for the layout of the resort. It was just kind of awkward.
Yeah.
So some cool things. And, I've been asked this a lot about beaches too. Well, if you see all of the Sesame Street characters wandering around, so does that make it like it's very like caters to just small kids? And no, I don't think so at all.
No, I don't think so either, yeah.
Yeah, I never felt that way. I mean, you see them and then they have a Sesame Street parade every day, but it's not like in your face.
No, that's good. I mean, because we're adults and it never felt like it was in our face.
Yes.
But if I was a kid, I would notice it. But if you have a teenager, they're just not going to...
Yeah. So
they'll be in the Xbox Lounge. There's so many things for a teenager. They have the teen lounge that stays open till what? 10 or something? 9?
Yeah, and then it gets converted to the adult lounge. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then in that water park, there's also 650-foot lazy river, and they have one of those surf simulators, and that's included because there's some other resorts that you'll see throughout Mexico and the Caribbean that have that, but it's an extra charge. But it's included at Beaches, which is a nice perk. So,
and again, no tipping here too as well.
Yes,
that's
no
a big
tipping.
Difference.
And a couple special VIP things that you can do that I really love and I think are a great option for families, especially with small kids. So they have a Beaches character breakfast. So it's where all of the Sesame Street characters are there, and you can have breakfast with them. It's 45 minutes long, and it's $12 per adult and $16 per child. And you can also, if you're traveling over your little one's birthday, you can set up to have a 1-hour private birthday party with the character of your choice. Yeah, so that's really cool.
And I too like too. If I was a kid too, you can have the Cookie Monster tuck you in.
Okay, you're getting ahead here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you're mentioning all the interaction with the. Okay.
Yes. So the birthday party, it starts at $250 for 5 guests, and then it's $100 for each additional character if you wanted more characters there. Now, the third VIP Sesame Street package is an all-access photo session, and that's basically where all the characters come. It's a quick 15-minute photo session, and that includes one photo, but you'll be able to buy more if you want them. And yeah, you can get your whole family's picture taken with all the Sesame Street characters.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes.
That is so cool. Again, memories that your kid will remember. Like something like that is where your kids can remember that forever.
Yes. Now, last but not least, the night sleep tight.
And you can do cookies, right?
Yeah,
They'll
so
actually
that's
do cookies with Cookie Monster.
So that's the tuck-in. So you can get the character of your choice. Yeah, and if you want to have cookies with Cookie Monster before you go to bed, you can do that. So it's a 15-minute session. You get a picture, toy. They do like relaxing stretches. They tell a bedtime story, and they sing a lullaby before tucking in your child for bed at night. And they can get the character of their choice.
That sounds so awesome.
Which, that's really awesome. And
yeah.
It's funny. One of the resort sales managers told me that she has had adults do that.
Oh my. Hey, That's awesome too.
Yeah.
I think at my age, I'd be terrified if Big Bird took me in at night. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to sleep.
Yeah, I would think that's a little. I mean, whatever floats your boat. If you want to pay for it, do it. But
I would sleep with one eye open with a giant 8-foot character walking around.
yeah,
the room.
yeah, but yeah, they do that. So it's $85 for one child, and then each additional child in the room is $30. And if you wanted an additional character in the room, then it's $65. And at Beaches Turks, they have more like suite options than you'll find at Beaches Negril. But if you look in the Key West Village, the Seaside Village, and the Italian Village, you can find larger suites that are little, they give you your family more room. So
yeah, and I do like one of my most memorable parts of Beaches Turks is the adult only restaurant that sits on the second floor of the building. It's like a rooftop lounge, and
the Sky Restaurant, and it's for 16 and up. Yes,
16 and up, yeah. But great views of the whole beach. Sunsets are incredible there, and if your kid's off doing whatever they want to do really at the resort, you can enjoy like this really, really awesome adult 16 and up / adults only restaurant.
Yes, and I highly recommend Beaches Negril as well. I think it is just as comparable to Turks. It's just on a much smaller scale. That's all.
Yeah, I got to go back. It's been a while since I've been in a grill.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been to Beaches and a Grill. We went to Sandals and Grill not too long ago, but Beaches, I remember we did the tour there, and you've been there since then, but I haven't. So I just
I was say last time I was there was like 2 years ago.
I got to go back.
Yeah.
I got to get a refresher on that.
But that's a great option, and one of the most memorable things that I remember about that, and they had it at Turks too, is they have in the buffet line like a kid-size buffet, and they had like the pancakes and the waffles.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so like it was much lower, so kids could reach it.
Yeah, the kids are going to grab a zillion pancakes. That's what I would do.
And they have, like the kids' lounge chairs and the kids' tables, and it's just cute.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think that is all that I have today. Well, pricing. Sorry. So Beaches, Turks and Caicos.
Now, this is probably going to be the most expensive, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's close to the Grand Velas.
That's that's incredible then.
Yeah. Well, and one thing you have to think about too, especially in looking at Turks and Caicos, is it's one of the most expensive islands you can visit. The taxes there are extremely high, and so that's why a lot of the resorts, the pricing is a lot higher.
Now, listen, when you visit Turks, you're not going to know why the taxes are high. It's just, I don't know where the money's going.
Well, they have to import everything,
that's true.
So that's one thing that drives cost up. So total for 5 nights for a family of 4, it's $69.94. And this is July of 2022. So this resort books up way in advance. So I would definitely, if you are looking to, book for 2022, I would definitely go ahead and start looking at it now. And then at Beaches Negril, $67.12.05 is what that one was starting at for the 5 nights. And then Beaches Ocho Rios, $5,057.
Oh, that's not bad.
So as you can see, it's a big price difference, and I just think the quality is not as good as Turks and Negril. So
yeah, and also too, I think if you compare the Beaches brand to the other locations, I would say you're getting still a different or more broader experience than what you might get in other areas. And they just nailed this kids thing so well. They've done such a fabulous job with it, and again, it's going to be obviously higher than the alternatives right now, but you're getting so much more back. So it's a value thing.
Yes, and then I have a few honorable mentions that are great options to consider if you are traveling as a family. So Dreams Resorts, the only thing that I would suggest is not all of the Dreams Resorts are on the same level or up to the same quality, so just be aware of that. The Royalton Resorts, same thing. Not all of them are up to the same quality, in my opinion. And then I really like the Moon Palace in Cancun for families. That's a great option. And then Serenity at Coconut Bay in St. Lucia. If you're looking for a destination, a little bit different destination, that's a great option for families as well.
Absolutely. So families, moms and dads listening, if you want more, I'm assuming the kids aren't paying. If you would like a custom quote, custom to your dates, your local airport and everything, and it's a free quote from us, and we're a 0 fee service if you book with us. You know where to find us. We'll put all the links in the description, but it's penyaktravel.com, and boom, request a quote is right there. Give us all the dates information. We'll send you a custom quote. Comes right from Janet or one of our agents, probably you.
Yep.
And that's the best way to find us. Also Instagram, YouTube, Facebook,
Yes.
Your standard places.
Or feel free to call me, 1-800-674-3278.
Yeah, and we're getting LinkedIn going too.
Yes. Well, you are. I don't do much on LinkedIn, but
yeah, we're not that. We need to be more active on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, question of the day.
Question of the day. Question of the day. What I love about this question of the day is actually came in from another listener.
Yes.
So this is great. We love when our listeners want to know kind of a question of the day from us. Okay. Question of the day. If we were to retire out of the country, so not in the U.S., we're going to retire, we're leaving the country. We're not coming. I guess we can come back. But where would you retire to if you could retire out of the country?
And this is John. This is from John in Houston.
Yeah. John's a longtime listener.
Yes.
Love
so I have a top 3. Did you do your top 3?
I've got. They're all pretty close in my head, but I could give you a top 3.
Okay, so you want me to start with my number 3?
Yeah, fire away.
So my number 3 would be Nassau, Bahamas.
Okay.
And the reason being is because there's a lot of, it's very close to the U.S. That's number 1. And then there's, some nice gated communities. And then there's still, you have a lot of great like nightlife and the casinos. And I don't know, it would kind of give you a sense of being back in America.
Okay, that one's in my top 3. And if our top 3 are the same, this will be a boring question. I was
going to say,
not a boring question, but
well, I know both of our number 1s are the same. I don't know what your number 2 is.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Cabo.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't my number 2.
What's your number 2?
Punta Cana.
Oh,
the gated area with all the golf courses. He
wants to live in Capcana.
And you get a great value, and there's a lot of fabulous golf.
Yeah.
I mean, they have PGA quality courses. There is a PGA course there, actually, that they play tournaments at. And very good value, I think, but good bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Still within decent proximity to the U.S. Decent. Yep. And I just think your dollar goes a long way there. But I agree. Number 3 is definitely Nassau because you're right near the. Actually, I could probably do a more slightly remote island in the Bahamas.
Oh, really?
Because you still have very good proximity to Miami.
Yeah.
And you can take a puddle jumper over to Nassau and quickly catch a flight.
Yeah, but see, I like Nassau because I like the hustle and bustle, things to do, and like I'm not a big gambler. I just like, the casinos and all the restaurants, and I just, it gives you a taste of Vegas. So
yeah, no, I know.
And who doesn't love Vegas?
I could do. I actually, we're going to retire together, so, and it'll probably be your call. So
that's right.
I don't make any decisions around here. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm kidding.
Yeah, so mine's Cabo though, just because I love Cabo. It's so different. That would be Cabo, really far.
That's a good one. It is far, but it's not bad.
And there's a lot of nice areas. It's actually a lot more.
It's super
Americanized than you think. Yeah, I know, but like in the fall and winter time, it's beautiful there.
That's very true.
Very true. I would say that's my number 2, and then I know our number 1 is the same because we have talked about this a lot.
Grand Cayman.
Grand Cayman.
This is the banking capital of the Caribbean. It is a highly developed island. It is a cruise port.
Highly developed.
When I say highly developed, it's modernized.
Yes,
it's to an extent. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Where you still have like Tiki Hut, bars. You have Tiki Hut bars sitting there, right by the beach. It's still an island, very much.
Yes, and I love, like the downtown area there, Georgetown, Grand Cayman,
and
I love it. It's a beautiful island, very, very clean, and
swim with the stingrays.
Yeah, you can go to Stingray City. There's a lot to do, and it's kind of remote, but not remote. There's not as it's not like you have multiple flights a day from the U.S. going there like as you do in some other destinations. But
exactly, yeah, and I just think
we've been there several times, and I just absolutely love it.
Yeah, it resembles probably because obviously we're Americans, so we're used to America. It resembles probably America the most in the entire Caribbean, with the exception of maybe St. Thomas.
Yeah, but it has like a nice. American. Yeah, but it has a nice Caribbean like twist to it.
It really does. And it's like. And now it's going to be on the highest end of the spectrum, though, too.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
It is not cheap to live there. You can Google real estate in Grand Cayman.
Yeah.
It is not cheap. But it's still, I think, doable in a little condo or townhome. And, I guess if you're Jeff Bezos, you can buy the whole island if you want to.
Yeah, you could buy the whole island if you wanted to.
But it is just a really neat place.
Yes, I love it. I hate they've been locked down for as long as they have, but...
Yeah, they have. No one's really going unless you have property there.
Yeah. So I don't even know if there's if you can even get a flight there right now. But
yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's probably coming though.
And I think it's a little bit less touristy just because it's mostly a cruise stop destination.
Yeah.
But so you don't have a lot of people like flying in to stay there. It's just not as there's not that many resorts there like that. Like there's not any all-inclusive resorts or anything. So
yeah, and you have to take the cruise ships. If I remember correctly, they don't dock. They don't have a big enough dock. They have to take the tender over, right?
Yeah, but I think they have since built a dock. It's been a while since we've been there, so
yeah.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I thought that I read that they had. So
yeah, that's a great question. That is a great.
It's a great question,
John. Thank you so much. And by the way, if you want to know anything about us, submit the question to us.
And if you want to tell us where you'd like to retire and why, slide into our DMs. I'd love to know.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Give me something else to look at.
All right, guys. Well, I think that is a show.
Yes, if you want any more information on anything that you've heard today, you can slide into our DMs on Instagram or Facebook. Go to our website, penyaktravel.com. If you click request a quote, it comes directly to me. Or give us a call, 1-800-674-3278. But I think that is an episode.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We love you guys. And by the way, you guys have helped us become one of the fastest growing travel podcasts on the internet. We are just spiking in the rankings. And thank you so much for just your ears, your subscription, your quote requests, everything. We love you guys. We will see you next time.
See you next time.